My top 5 favorite harps. This video is a result of Alex Wolf, who commented asking me to showcase my favorite jaw harps. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to pick 5. Now, I'm not saying these are the best harps in the world. These are just my personal favorites from my collection. Here we have the Salagi Chancellor. This was my first real harp, so it has a real special place in my heart. I built most of my techniques and most of my learning there in the beginning was on this harp. I played it a ton, and it just plays wonderfully. It was about 25 bucks. I think it was 30 bucks shipped from mouthmusic.com. I gave Mark Poss a call from mouthmusic.com and selected one. This one's tuned to a D. Let's go ahead and give it a listen. About 30 bucks, or maybe even 31 or 32 bucks in all is what this harp cost me. I built most of my techniques off it. Love this harp. There's a special place in my heart for this harp. Tuned in D. My next pick would be the bass to Tarston. We're going to put this one at number 4. The bass to Tarston. It's made out of thicker square stock, loop trigger, and I got it from Oberton Pro out of Russia, and I think it was about $32 including shipping. Good sensitivity, good playing harp. Love this harp. I played this harp a ton for around 30 bucks from straight out of Russia from Oberton Pro. This harp plays wonderfully. Good sensitivity. Probably not as good for a beginner as it has really tight gaps, about a paper's width. The Salagi Chancellor would be a better starting place for a beginner, but the standard to Tarston, if you want a bass harp on a budget and a mid-range bass, this would be the harp that I probably suggest to people the most often. Good stuff, sensitive, loud, breathy. Next in line at number 3, the one I'm going to pick is the Glazin Star. Out of all the Glazins I bought, the Star is my favorite. It's a flat-fronted stainless steel harp with, we're going to call this a looped trigger, but it more looks like a cinnamon roll. It's a continuous coil. Let's go ahead and get an air on it. Good stuff. All stainless steel. This harp won't rust. I think it cost me $60 to $70 shipped. So we're getting more into the pricier range where the value, you don't get as much bang for your buck, but this is a good harp. Good loud harp. I don't know if I'd recommend it to a beginner. The reed on it's a little bit stiffer, but this is a pretty dang loud harp. Good sensitivity. Not quite as breathy as like the bass to Tarston because the reed's a little stiffer, but decent playing harp. And one of my favorites out of all the Glazins I have. It is my favorite, and it beats the Phantom as well. Now, at number 2, I'm going to pick this one. If you're a fan of my channel, you've probably seen this one before. This is the Masco Average. This one is tuned to D sharp. It is completely stainless steel, loop trigger. Not a good beginner harp. Pretty stiff reed, but this is, out of all my harps, this is probably the loudest and the most sensitive. And when people hear it, they comment, they're like, wow, that's loud. Very loud, very sensitive harp. I think I got this one from Guimbardi's.fr from out of France, and it was about $60 or $65. We're getting up there in the price range, so not as good as a value as some of the other harps, but this is a screaming loud harp. Tight gaps, very, very sensitive, very playable harp, and it's stainless, so you don't really have to do much maintenance on this harp. Won't ever rust. Love this harp, love the way it plays. Probably, if you're a beginner out there, this is not a harp you want to start on. This is a very stiff-reeded harp. It's very, very loud, and it's not a good starting point for a beginner. But if you're an intermediate or looking for a very loud, sensitive stainless steel harp, this is one I would suggest as well. Okay, down to number one. Now I'm gonna be, maybe I'm a little bit biased because this is a harp that I made, but this is a harp I made for me. This is my own mid-range harp that I made and made it for myself, so I'm kind of being a hypocrite. I'm like, I'm not saying it's the best harp in the world. It is my favorite harp because I made it for me. It plays how I want it to play. Let's go ahead and let's give a listen on it. Probably not quite as sensitive or as loud as like the Masco Average or the Glazin Star, but there's a certain quality about it. The reed is a little bit softer. It allows, I feel that it allows me for better back pressure. I can control the reed very easily with my breathing. The triggers on this harp, I went ahead and I did an oblong loop, so it plays good inward, it plays good outward. I like to slide my finger a lot of the times past there, bouncing the reed. And this is a harp that I made myself, and I made it for myself, so it plays, it suits itself, it lends itself better to my striking and playing style than some of the other harps do. And that's going to be it for this episode of my top 5 favorite jaw harps. Be sure to leave a comment below letting me know what are your top 5 favorite harps. I'd love to hear what everybody else's harps is, and that would be great. But anyways, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Harp out.